Newest Chicago Bears head coach Ben Johnson had his introductory press conference today with the Chicago media. So I want to share with you guys my biggest takeaways from this press conference. So what is going on, y'all? Halas Sports Hall back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. It does help me out a lot when you do so on the channel. All right, so I watched this press conference from start to finish, man. Every second of it. Took some notes for you guys here because I want to share sort of my takeaways here. And I watched the whole press conference, like I said, and I haven't usually done that for a lot of the coaches here because either, it's just not been that interesting, or I wasn't really a fan of that coach or that excited. So this is different, obviously, with Ben Johnson and being excited for him. So yeah, man, we're going to talk about this in the office today. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So my first takeaway was I wanted to know what Ben Johnson's really all about, right? What are his core values? What type of coach is he? What's his philosophy? And he shared his core values with, the media today. And he said his core values are work ethic, selflessness, and poise. Okay, those are the three things he pointed out. And then he said a quote about what he's going to share with the players, which is get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's one of my favorite quotes, by the way. I love that quote a lot. And so to me, my takeaway here was Ben Johnson, there's a seriousness to him with this job. And, he came across today very good with the communication, poise, like you mentioned, being one of his core values, and just a guy who, wants to just put his head down and go to work. That was my takeaway here. Is that, it starts with just putting in the work and pushing the players, serving the players, doing everything he can to put them in positions to succeed. So I love everything about the core values that he has. I don't want to take a shot at, the former coach Faiz, but didn't have to get all fancy with any sort of acronyms like the HITS principle and whatnot. He just wants to get right to work, man. He just wants to get right to work, and that's what he believes in. So those were the core values. He shared the first takeaway. The second one, flexibility. Ben Johnson basically said that he is not going to drop his scheme onto this team. He's going to tear it down and build it back up with the Chicago talent in mind, especially Caleb Williams, of course. I love this. This is exactly what good coaches do, which is they don't come in with their scheme and have this rigidity where they force all of the players to fit into their scheme. Sure, there's bits and pieces of it that you want to keep, right? The foundation of it. But for the most part, they take a look at the talent they have and they find a way to fit the scheme around the talent to maximize that talent, right? So that is what good coaches do. And that's what he said he's going to do. And even Caleb talked about it after he was there, by the way, at the press conference. And he said that Ben told him it's going to be his offense. It's going to be catered around to him. So I love the fact that he's not just saying, look, everything at Detroit was so successful, I'm just going to bring it all here and use the same thing, because we don't have Detroit's offensive line. We don't have Detroit's players. We don't have the receivers. They're back. So it's different. You got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to be flexible. That's what Ben Johnson said he is. So that's what he's going to do. And then finally, the third thing was I wanted to see his command of him as a head coach and, how he would command the locker room, because, he's looked at as this like mad genius sort of nerd, if you will. But man, he had a good command. He had good presence today. I did not feel like he's a guy that players wouldn't respect, a guy that players wouldn't listen to. Like, he was very decisive. Like I said, he has a seriousness to him, and he can command a room. He certainly can. So I don't have a problem with or thinking that he's not going to be able to command a locker room. I think he's going to be totally fine with that. And I think he's more about, look, I'm going to prove it on the field. And that's where it starts. So look, I don't want to talk about winning press conferences, right? We don't want to keep winning the off season and then the regular season. We don't do anything. So I liked the press conference. I thought Ben Johnson came across strong. I thought he came across decisive. I thought he came across, as a smart, accountable guy who's got the right stuff. But you can't really judge it until obviously you see how it comes across on the football field. So that's going to be the most important thing. But I liked what I saw from the press conference, man. Let's hope it carries over into the regular season. Let me know what you guys think about that, man. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.